What's up guys, Buckaroo649 here. Today I'm going to be ranking my top 5 favorite Walt Disney Animation Studios movies. So if you haven't yet, make sure you please like, subscribe, and hit that bell icon so you get notifications each time I go live. And without further ado, let's get right into it. So I'd like to start off by making a couple PSAs. Walt Disney Animation Studios has released something like 70 films. I'm not sure the exact number, but they've released a lot of films. I am only going to be talking about Walt Disney Animation Studios. So, for instance, I am not going to be talking about every single Disney movie. I'm only talking about Walt Disney Animation Studios. So, you won't see any Pixar movies, so don't yell at me if Toy Story is not on the list. You're not going to see any Marvel movies, so I'm not going to put Endgame on the list. And you're not going to see any Star Wars movies, Fox movies. You're only going to see Walt Disney Animation Studios. Now, in the upcoming weeks, I'm going to do a top 5 Pixar movies, my top 5, and then I'm also going to be doing my top 5 Marvel movies. And so make sure you guys subscribe and hit that bell icon so you can see more of those. Without further ado, it also has to be, majority of it has to be animated. So I would put Mary Poppins on there, but Mary Poppins is, majority of it is live action. And so it's got to be majority animated and owned by Walt Disney Animation Studios. With that out of the way, let's get started with our number 5. Aladdin. I love this movie. It is so good. Seriously, this movie has been an amazing film to me. I think this was the very first Disney film I ever owned. I don't remember owning a lot of Disney films as a kid because they were on VHS, and I believe Aladdin was one of them. Aladdin was one of the few. I love this movie. This movie just really embodies kind of the Disney Renaissance experience. If you don't know what the Renaissance is, there are 6 different eras of Disney filmmaking. The Renaissance is the one that takes place throughout the late 80s and 90s. And so it's kind of the well-known Disney movies. It's where really Disney kind of got its push into this new generation that Disney is in. It came place in the Renaissance. And one of those movies was Aladdin. This movie is absolutely amazing. I love the soundtrack. Robin Williams singing Friend Like Me still gives me chills every single time. All of the songs, One Jump Ahead, A Whole New World. Seriously, this movie is absolutely awesome. And the animation in this movie is beautiful. The coloration inside the Cave of Wonders where Abu is taking a gem and you see it in the reflection in his eyes, and truly, this movie is awesome. And then the ending scene where Jafar becomes this big red genie and Jasmine is trapped in what is that thing called? The sand clock thing. And Aladdin has to free the genie and fight. It's truly amazing. And this movie tells a story better than most live action films out there. Aladdin is just awesome. Disney really killed it with Aladdin, and I'm excited for the live action. I know, at least for me, and I know majority of the rest of the internet out there, has been hesitant with kind of the whole Will Smith genie thing. The first trailer, I was not necessarily looking forward to it. It's gotten better as the trailers went on. I think they went through and definitely touched up on that CGI. So I am going to go to the theater. I am going to watch it. Now that could be... I could go in there and I could absolutely love it like I did with a movie like Beauty and the Beast. Or I could say that's okay, kind of like I did with Dumbo. Overall, though, I am just so stoked that I finally get to experience Aladdin in a theater, considering I wasn't alive when it came out. So, I'm looking forward to that, and that is why Aladdin is at number 5. Coming in at number 4... Hercules. I love Hercules so much, and I will tell you that Hercules is one of It and Hunchback of Notre Dame are 2 of the most underrated Disney movies out there. And this is coming from a Disney collector who owns every single Disney movie, every single Marvel movie, every single Star Wars movie. It is so underrated because I even overlooked it. I typically will buy Disney movies, even if I haven't seen them, and I'll just go put them in my collection and I'll get to them later. And that was kind of the way it was with Hercules. I had never really seen Hercules, and I watched Hercules for the first time, not really knowing anything about the movie. I know Dwayne Johnson tried to play it, but it didn't follow the same storyline. It followed the mythological god Hercules. This movie is awesome. Seriously, everything about it. The way that they tell the story with the muses, telling the story about Olympus at the beginning and Zeus imprisoning Hades into hell, and Hades gets this new plan, but the only person that was going to stop him is Hercules. It's just awesome the way that they tell the story with the muses, and they tell it on the pottery, and the animation style is really awesome. Don't forget to mention that the music in this movie, oh, I love the music in this movie. Seriously, from Zero to Hero to I Won't Say I'm in Love. That one's a good one. A Star is Born. I think A Gospel Truth. I think just that alone is awesome. You place Danny DeVito and you make him play Phil. It works. This movie works. It's. I never really got into kind of mythology and things like that, and after this movie, I kind of was like, wait, who are all these other characters? And so I looked up, like, who, I know who Zeus is, but I can't think of the other gods in Olympus. Obviously, it was super memorable, right? But I looked it up, I watched the movie again, and it gave it just a whole new aspect on, guess what I found boring in school? Hercules wins, and just kind of the message in, like, I Can Go the Distance of finding yourself, things like that. That's just a really awesome song, and it's just really uplifting, and it really shows kind of the Disney embodiment. That you can do anything. You just got to put your mind to it and work hard, and that's exactly what Herc did, and I love Hercules. All right. Coming in at number 3... The Little Mermaid. I think this is in everyone's top 3. Why is this movie so good? I'll tell you why it's so good, because it's made by Walt Disney Animation Studios. That's why it's so good. But, this movie wins in everything. It wins in its score. When you put Samuel E. Wright as the voice of Sebastian, and you make him this Jamaican crab, and you get kind of the steel drums effect, to Jodie Benson, who is the best voice of a princess ever. Do not disagree with that. Jodie Benson can sing like no other. Jodie Benson has such an amazing voice. I could listen to it for years. Listening to her sing Part of Your World, things like that. Oh, the music alone is just something to behold. I mean, it is definitely like the most popular music lineup list, I guess. Like if you were to get somebody to name Disney songs, I'm willing to bet quite a bit of them, like Kiss the Girl, Under the Sea, Part of Your World, are going to be from this movie. Literally, it's absolutely amazing, especially like how they tell a story within the water and how they venture into the outside world, and how they really have this view of Ariel knows nothing of the outside world. She doesn't know what a fork is, and so it really develops the character of Scuttles, and it tells kind of that underwater of duh, that's common knowledge to the land folk. Yeah, that's weird. Why would you use a fork? And then it also shows, kind of Sebastian's worries about that he addressed in Under the Sea when he comes face to face with the chef and his jaw drops and he's running away from the chef while Ariel can't talk. And then Ursula becomes this massive, before she becomes a beautiful siren and tries to tempt Eric with her voice before becoming a massive sea creature and trying to destroy the boat, and just to have King Neptune save the day. Awesome. Beautifully done. The water is something really, really hard to animate. Ask any Disney animator out there, they will tell you how hard water is to animate. Little Mermaid is perfect. Coming in at my second favorite Disney movie, Beauty and the Beast. I love Beauty and the Beast so much. I think my love of Beauty and the Beast comes from the fact that I really relate a lot to the Beast character line, or the character arc of the Beast. I think that I'm very a socially awkward person. I don't really like to venture outside of my comfort zone. I'd much rather kind of hang out by myself. Personally, I don't necessarily look at myself with a ton of confidence, things like that. And this movie just really hit close to home of it's what's inside you that matters. And this movie, I look back on this movie daily when I think of when I wake up one day and I'm not necessarily feeling confident about the way I look or anything like that. I constantly will refer back to the fact that Belle chose Beast over Gaston, and I think that's why this movie kind of rings a lot to me. This movie is probably the most touching story I think I've ever seen in a Disney film. Literally, it's amazing. It's got my favorite Disney villain of Gaston in it. You know, kind of the arrogant, oh, Belle, who does that girl think she is? No one says no to Gaston. He's kind of got that stature about him that he is God, and he doesn't understand why everyone else doesn't. Not everyone else. Everyone else does believe it except for Belle. And so he's a very believable villain that he's just driven by this jealousy of Beast. And he wants Belle so bad that he is willing to do whatever it takes. I love Beauty and the Beast. I saw Beauty and the Beast tons of times in theaters. You throw in the characters of Lumiere and Cogsworth. It works. It's an amazing movie. You have the ballroom scene, Gaston. You have that opening number with Belle and Marie, the baguettes, and things like that. It just, Beauty and the Beast. Beauty and the Beast will forever have a special spot in my heart. All right, and finally we are here to number 1. The Lion King. I know this is like everybody's number 1, right? And it's normie to choose The Lion King, but there is reason why this is everybody's number 1. This story retells the Shakespearean story of Hamlet, but it bases it in the animal kingdom and gives it the whole idea of finding your place in the circle of life. This movie, I know that Disney deals a lot with death. This movie deals with death better than any of them. I know Bambi's mom dies and Bambi then has to take his spot. I get that. This movie shows a child who doesn't necessarily understand death, that death is going to happen. And this movie does it in a way that will make you laugh. It will make you cry. And it is just so in-depth. Lion King is my favorite movie of all time. Hands down. Compared to any movie in the world, hands down, Lion King is my all-time favorite. Because Lion King tells a story like nothing I have ever seen. And that is, I don't care what movie you put it in front of it, whether it's Avengers Endgame, things like that. The Lion King is absolutely awesome. The characters of Timon and Pumbaa and how they're kind of Simba's, comedic relief in a relatively sad story about a jealous family member. I mean, Scar is a true villain. Scar, I think, kind of embodies what a villain should be. He's driven by rage and to be honest, he rightfully should be. I mean, he kind of gets screwed with a little bit of royal blood with Simba being born, and so he takes out Mufasa, and it's just an amazing movie. And The Lion King forever. You put that with a soundtrack written by Elton John. Lion King will forever. Now, please, Disney, if you're actually listening to this, don't mess up the live action. If you mess up the live action, don't mess up the live action. Don't mess it up. I'm fine if you change the story because I don't want to watch the same animated movie, just make it live action. I'm fine if you change the story a little bit. Don't screw it up. I've had my doubts with The Lion King. I think it's definitely gotten some things right. Like, I really love the casting of James Earl Jones. I didn't so much love the casting of Seth Rogen. I saw the trailer, though, and I saw the Can You Feel the Love Tonight segment at the very end of it. It grew on me. So, please, Disney, don't mess this up. Without further ado, guys, I will probably be back, hopefully, on Monday to give you guys my Disney movie of the week. Unless a trailer drops this weekend, then you can bet I'm going to be reacting to it. Until then, like, comment, tell me your top 5 Disney movies. Tell me. Let me know if you disagree with me. That's okay. Let's disagree with each other in a kind, respectful manner, and I will hopefully get back to you guys then. Make sure you subscribe, hit that bell notification, and I will see you guys on the next Buckaroo video. Bye, guys.